Hey, Lois.
Hi there. I guess we'll get started in another minute. I know I just got a notification that somebody else was trying to log in.
Okay, no problem.
And we'll record this, right?
Yeah, it's recording now.
Okay. I guess we might as well get started because anybody can go back and watch the beginning and if they miss part of it. But in the interest of time, of everybody respecting your time, we'll get started. So I'm Lois from Travel Time Agency, and we're very pleased tonight to have Nate Allen joining us with all that's new and lots of great information about Royal Caribbean cruises. They continue to be a favorite of our clients, and people come back and want to do it year after year with their family. So obviously it ticks all the boxes for the vacation experience. So without further ado, welcome Nate, and please go ahead and tell us all the great information that you have in store.
Great. Thank you so much, Lois. So once again, my name is Nate Allen. I am the strategic account manager for Royal Caribbean. I'm just going to kind of give you a little bit of update about what's new at Royal Caribbean and what's kind of coming down the pipeline. With Royal, there's always a lot coming down the pipeline, a lot of things changing, a lot of new ships. So let's begin. So a lot of questions that I get asked a lot is who are our guests? You know, with Royal Caribbean, we are a full multi-gen family brand. However, we do cater to everyone, whether you're couples or families or solo travelers. You know, 6 of our ships have solo staterooms and large groups. So we do a lot of incentive groups, large groups, family groups, whatever you wish. So we really do cater to everyone. With Royal Caribbean, even though Royal Caribbean International, with Caribbean being our middle name, we do travel globally. So we are over 300 plus destinations. We cover 6 continents. We have over 30 plus home ports. We have 2 private destinations, and we're increasing that. And we have over 3,000 plus shore excursions. In 2026, we're going to have 21 ships sailing the Caribbean, 6 in Europe. We'll have 4 in Alaska. We'll have 2 out of Vancouver and 2 out of Seattle, 5 on the West Coast, including San Diego, Seattle, and Los Angeles. We'll have Northeast of New Jersey or Baltimore, Australia, as well as 1 in Asia. A lot of great options. When you look at the destinations, we have a ton of home ports. So you can look here in this actual map here, you can see all the different home ports that we actually sail from. So there's many options, whether you want to sail the Americas or the Caribbean, or you're looking to sail in Europe, or even Asia. Asia and Australia is probably our fastest growing market right now, but there's a lot of different options. Now I'm going to cover a couple of different, I guess, deployments. Obviously, we have 29 ships. We have a lot of deployments. I'm just going to kind of give a little high level of a couple different options here. Some of the changes for 2026. For Alaska, I did mention we're going to have 4 different ships. We'll have the Voyager and the Anthem doing 7-night Alaska Adventure and 7-night Alaska Experience. These will be sailing either out of Seattle. Well, these 2 will be out of Seattle, and then out of Vancouver, we're going to have the Serenade doing the 7-night Alaska Inside Passage. The one difference this year is we have or for next year, we have the Ovation of the Seas, which is one of our Quantum class ships. It's going to be doing the 7-night northbound Alaska, or you can do the 7-night southbound. And the reason why that's important is we actually have Alaska cruise tours. So if you are going to do a cruise tour, that is basically a cruise tour is the interior of Alaska. So you'll do a 7-night cruise. Let's say you go from Vancouver to Seward, Alaska. You'll then get off the ship, and then you'll do up to, well, we have 12 different unique cruise tours. You can do, 3, 5, 7-night different options. I will highly recommend, if you are going to do an Alaska cruise, pick and choose to do Alaska cruise tour. To this date, it's still one of my very favorite vacations I've ever been on, and you really get to immerse yourself into that landscape. Now for Europe, like I say, I'm not going to cover every single ship in itinerary, but for next year we will have the Harmony of the Seas doing 7-night Western Mediterranean, May, June, and July. And then the ship's going to change over to the Legend of the Seas. The Legend is not built yet; it's almost done. We'll be ready for next summer. It's our Icon class of ships, and it'll be doing 7-night Western Mediterranean. And this is called an interport. So this either the Harmony or the Legend. You can either start your sailing in Rome, or you can start your sailing in Barcelona. So either Barcelona to Barcelona, or you can do Rome to Rome. We'll have in Rome, we'll have the Odyssey doing a 7 and 9 night Greek Isles. We'll have the Explorer out of Ravenna doing 7 night Greek and Adriatic, as well as the Greek Isles. And then we have the Liberty of the Seas sailing out of Southampton doing anything from as small as 2 nights all the way up to 9 night options. Now, next year, there's also a Eclipse cruise, which is really exciting. And the Liberty will be taking part of that. So you can actually be on board the ship and seeing the eclipse. If you're looking to really extend your stay in Europe, we do have a great open jaw. So what an open jaw is, it means you're going to basically get on a ship in one city and you're going to end in a different city. You're not going to return back to that original port of call. So for example, the Brilliance of the Seas will be doing Barcelona to Ravenna, then it's going to be doing from Ravenna to Rome, and then Rome to Athens, and then Athens to Barcelona. This is a great option if you want to do a 7 night, or you want to do a back-to-back and do 14, or you can keep doing back-to-back all the way up to 28 nights. This is a really great option if you're looking to cover all the Mediterranean. For the Caribbean, if you're not familiar with their Icon class ship, that is our newest class of ship. The Icon will be sailing 7 night Eastern and Western Caribbean out of Miami. We just launched the second Icon class ship, which is the Star of the Seas. It will be sailing out of Port Canaveral. It just started about 3 weeks ago. It's also doing Eastern and Western Caribbean, both making a stop at Perfect Day CocoCay, our private island destination. We also have the Adventure doing 6 and 8 nights, so either a 6 night Western Caribbean or 8 night Eastern and Southern Caribbean, making a stop at Perfect Day out of Port Canaveral. And then out of Fort Lauderdale, we have the Allure, the Adventure, and the Legend of the Seas. So once the Legend is finished in the Mediterranean, it's going to be making its way over and starting its sailing out of Fort Lauderdale, doing that 6 and 8 night Southern and Western Caribbean, also making a stop at Perfect Day, starting in November of next year. Now, if you're looking for a shorter type of cruise, we do offer our short Caribbean market. So we have Utopia of the Seas, which is a brand new ship. It's actually our 6th Oasis class ship that came out last July. It's doing 3 and 4 nights, always making a stop at Perfect Day. Or we have the Harmony of the Seas doing 5 night, 2, 4, 7 night. So lots of different options for the Harmony. And then we have the Explorer, so doing 4 night and 5 night out of Port Canaveral. And then out of Miami, we've just moved the Wonder of the Seas, which is our Oasis class ship that came out in 2022. It will also be doing 3 and 4 nights. And then we have the Freedom of the Sea, which is a great class of ship, the Freedom class, which is a little bit smaller than our Oasis class ships, but it has a lot of ton of activities on board. And we're doing 4 and 5 night options. The one thing I'll mention is 3 and 4 nights may not be as popular for guests sailing or based on wanting to sail or travel from Newfoundland. But the nice thing is that you can do a surf and turf option. So maybe you've never done a cruise before and you want to just try it out for the first time. It's a great option to maybe do a 3 or 4 night option, and maybe do 3 or 4 nights at Disney or Universal Studios or another destination in Florida. So it is a great option to kind of experience. Or if you really want to, you can do a 3 and 4 night back to back. So it becomes a 7 night sailing. And then also the nice thing about that is you get to go to Perfect Day or Private Island twice. When it comes to innovative ships, we have a full range of ships. We have 7 classes altogether, right from our Vision, Voyager, Radiance, and Freedom, which is our smaller classic ships. But then we have our Oasis, our Quantum, and our Icon class, which is our larger class of ships. The nice thing about Royal Caribbean is we do have a ship for everyone. We do a lot of marketing on our Oasis class, Quantum class, and Icon class because they are, I guess I can say, our bread and butter. They are what really attracts people to Royal Caribbean because of all the activities on board. But we have a lot of guests who just want to sail some of those unique itineraries or just want a smaller classic ship. I love the Voyager class. The Radiance class is a beautiful ship. It does sail out of Alaska, Southern Caribbean, Europe. There's a lot of great features on board those ships, and there's tons to do. And I also find a lot of those classes of ships may not have as many kids on board as some of our other classes of ships, such as the Oasis and the Icon. However, we also have a lot of sailings that don't cater to a lot of children as well, just because, for example, I'm going to be on the Explorer of the Sea on Sunday, actually, of this week, sailing in Europe. I'm going to be in the Voyager class, and a lot of the kids are back at school now, so you won't see as many kids on board. So we really do cater to everyone, and we actually have a class of ship for everyone. When we talk about some of the accommodations in different staterooms, we have a wide range. So we have our interior stateroom. We have the virtual balcony, which essentially is an interior room with a large scale television that gives you a beautiful live imagery outside, so you get a live picture. We also have our ocean view. We also have our neighborhood and promenade view balcony. So you could be looking, if you're on an Oasis class or an Icon class ship, we have the interior balcony that faces into our central park or to our boardwalk or surfside neighborhood. And then we also have a traditional ocean view with balcony, and then brand new on the Icon class of ships, so the Icon of the Seas and Star of the Sea, we have the infinite balcony. So this is not your traditional balcony, however, you get a beautiful view, wall to wall, floor to ceiling, and the top part of the window does come down. So it actually acts like as if you're on a balcony, but also gives you a little bit more room in that stateroom. So it does give you the kind of the same feel as a balcony, but you are getting more square footage in that stateroom. I actually prefer it myself. I have young children, it's great option for them. I don't have to worry about them going on the balcony and having any issues out there. They can just go up to the window, look out, and have a beautiful view. We have a wide range of suites available, anything from our junior suites to our owner suites. We have multi-bedroom suites. So for example, on the Symphony of the Seas, we have a 4-bedroom villa, sleeps up to 14 people. So you get 4 distinct bedrooms, large living room area. We have ocean view panoramic suites where beautiful windows, there's no balcony, but beautiful glass windows. We have loft suites where it's multi-level. So we have the Royal Loft Suite, we have the owner's loft, and then we have the ultimate family suite. So we have the ultimate family suite on the Symphony of the Wonder of the Seas, the Utopia of the Seas. And then on the Icon and Star, we have the ultimate family townhouse, which is a 3-story townhouse, sleeps up to 8 people. Those are really for the fun family. There's so many activities on board. There's actually a slide that goes from the 2nd floor all the way down to the 1st floor. What's included with Royal Caribbean? We have a wide range of inclusions with our ships. We have all of our entertainment and nightlife, so all of our shows, whether they're a Broadway show or just our regular original content. We also have signature activities like our rock climbing wall, our carousel, our water slides, our bisque slide, which you can see in the picture here. It's that pink slide, that's a dry slide. All of our meals, beverages, and room service, all of our kids clubs, teen clubs, our splash pads, all of our fitness centers and sports activities, whether you want to play pickleball or basketball, volleyball, those are all included. Our fitness and gym is all included as well. Our private island destinations, Perfect Day, CocoCay, or Labadee, those are 2 of our destinations. They are complimentary. We do have a couple paid options on those islands, but they are, for the most part, are complimentary. And then we have amazing amenities as well in activities. So maybe laser tag or skating and things like that are all complimentary. So once you get on board, you'll have plenty to do. Now, speaking about our entertainment, this is actually a picture of our aqua theater, which is on the aft of the Oasis class of ships. This is one of our outdoor venues. We have professional divers that will dive from that top platform into that little pool. It's about 15 feet deep. This is by far one of my favorite shows on board any Royal Caribbean ship. But we do have the full Broadway productions, such as Saturday Night Fever, Grease, We Will Rock You, Mamma Mia, Cats, Hairspray. Now, the Icon of the Seas, we just launched Wizard of Oz last year on the Icon, and the Star of the Sea, we just launched Back to the Future. I'm a huge Back to the Future fan, and I just saw this show about 3 weeks ago on board Star of the Sea, and I will say it is an unbelievable show, and I highly recommend if you have not seen it to see it. I know it's not on, it's on our Star of the Sea, but it's also available. It's one of the Broadway shows in many cities around the North America. We also have our own original productions, whether you're looking to see our show in our Aqua Theater or our Royal Theater. We have skating rinks on majority of our ships, and there's 3 classes of ships that do not have skating rinks, but all the other classes do. We have our skate shows, but like I said, you can also go for a free skate. We do provide complimentary skates and helmets, knee pads if you want to go skating, but we have a lot of entertainment throughout our whole ship, not even just in our theaters, but in our pubs. We have a performer that will push around a piano into the elevator and perform up and down the elevator, or he'll move around different parts of the ship. So there's a lot of entertainment. You will not be bored for the whole week. Some of the youth activity, I did cover some of them already, like our arcade games, our family activities such as laser tag. We have escape rooms, or water pools, or water slides. We have dedicated children's menus. We have our Adventure Ocean program as well as our teen clubs. And speaking of Adventure Ocean, this is a great program for kids. So it's broken up into kind of 3 different categories. We have our nursery, which is from 6 to 36 months. There is a cost for that. It's about $8 an hour up until 10 p.m. And then after 10 p.m., I think it goes up to $10 per hour. And they're all, there's a limited number of spots for the nursery. And then we also have our Adventure Ocean, which is broken up into 3 sections as well. We have our aquanauts from 3 to 5-year-olds. We have explorers from 6 to 8, and our voyagers from 9 to 11. And our teen club is from 12 to 14 and 15 to 17. All of our staff that works at Adventure Ocean has to have a minimum of a 4-year degree in child education, and they're fully certified as well for autistic kids. As you can see here, there's 2 columns here. The right side is the Adventure Ocean is broken down a little bit differently. It's 3 to 5-year-olds, probably called AO juniors, AO Kids is from 6 to 12. So it's only broken up into 2 categories instead of 3, like on the left-hand side. And then our social club is from 13 to 17. It's a great program. A lot of the kids who go in here, they do not want to leave. They have so much fun by they're either playing games or they're doing science experiments or arts and crafts. And the beautiful thing about Adventure Ocean is you can leave your children there. And if you want to go into a port one day, your kids can stay on board the ship and we'll take care of them. We'll take them for lunch and dinner. And we also have the fast track dinner at our main dining room. And what that means is that if your kids most likely won't want to eat a long meal, but they can come to the main dining room with you, and we will send a staff member down and pick up the kids from the main dining room, bring them back to Adventure Ocean so the parents can enjoy the rest of their meal. Speaking of meals, we do have a royal dining options. We have a lot of different options, whether it's our main dining room, which offers early, late, and my time dining, as well as traditional flex time. We have complimentary dining options. So over half of our ship will always have more complimentary options than specialty options, such as we have Sorrento's Pizza, we have El Loco Fresh, which is our Mexican restaurant. We have our main dining room, we have our buffet. There's plenty of options on board our ships. And then we also have our suite exclusive dining. So if you are staying in one of our suites, you have your own dedicated restaurant called Coastal Kitchen, which is essentially a specialty dining restaurant. It is complimentary. It is part of that suite program. But we also have some other options as well. Like we have our room service, which offers both complimentary as well as paid options. And then a la carte options such as some of our ice cream parlors or our cupcake shops or Sugar Beach candy shops. And then multiple specialty dining options such as Chops Grill, 150 Central Park, Zumi. There's a lot of great options, but there's plenty of options that you don't have to worry about paying additional for specialty dining. Now I'm going to play a video here. My sound hasn't been working, so I do apologize if you don't hear any sound. Oops. Or the video's not working for me at all. I do apologize for my video. So next up, we're going to talk a little bit about the Icon. The Icon of the Seas came out last year. It's currently the largest class of ship in the world. There's amazing activities. And what the ship does is it does hold up to about 5,600 guests based on double occupancy. And it's broken up into 8 distinct neighborhoods. So we have our Thrill Island, we have our Surfside neighborhood, which is really catered towards those younger kids. We have Chill Island with 4 pools and 6 hot tubs. We have the Hideaway, which is our adult-only exclusive area with the infinity pool. We have our Aqua Dome and our Overlook, which is our Aqua Theater, which is in this huge dome. And in front of that dome is the outer part of that dome is a beautiful glass windows that has 270-degree views. We have our dedicated suite neighborhoods on some of our ships. So if you are one of our suite guests, you have your own dedicated private area, private pool. We have a Royal Promenade, which is really the heart of the Icon class of ships and most of our Oasis class ships as well, where we have all of our entertainment venues such as Boleros, we have Schooner Bar, we have dueling pianos. There's a lot of great options. And then we have Central Park, which is one of my favorite parts on board our ship. We have over 33,000 live plants and trees. Now looking top down, we do have some great activities. We have Thrill Island, which is the largest water park at sea with 6 record-breaking water slide. We have the Crown's Edge, which is an aerial adventure. So you're basically going to be harnessed to the outside of the ship and you're going to walk a plank 154 feet above the water. At the end of the plank, it's going to give out and you're going to kind of zip line back onto the ship. It's a great experience. That's the only experience that we do charge additional for. I think it's $39 in port and $49 if you're out of port or at sea. It is a great option, but it's the only one we charge for just because we can only get so many people through in a day. I mentioned about the Aqua Dome. That's where our Aqua Theater is with a 5-story shape-shifting waterfall. A Hideaway, which is our adult-only area with a 65-foot infinity pool over that Surfside neighborhood. Surfside, we have 3 ways to splash, which is our Baby Bay, Splash Away Bay, and our Crown's Edge pool, really catered for those young kids. And then we also have 7 pools on board, including the largest pool at sea with over 40,000 gallons. And we have Swim and Tonic, which is the first ever swim-up bar on board of a cruise ship. Here's a great picture of our Category 6 water park. We have 2 raft slides, so you can have up to 4 people in a raft. We have 2 mat racer slides, which is the light blue and the dark blue. And then we have 2 drop slides, which are a little bit hard to see in this picture, but one's 2 colors of orange and we have a yellow slide. There's the sports court and the mini golf in behind, and we also have a flow rider. So there's plenty of activities, and all these activities here are complimentary. Speaking about some new bars and nightlife, so these are some new venues that are on board the Icon class of ships. We have Dueling Pianos, which is a very popular venue. We have Blues, Jazz, and Blues Club, which is found in Central Park. We also have the Overlook and the Overlook Pods. This is that beautiful 270-degree view outside the Aqua Dome Market. And then we have 1400 lobby bar, which makes really amazing cocktails and has an indoor and outdoor seating. We have Ryan Bean, which makes transformational coffee and has espresso martinis. We have Bubbles, which is a champagne window, which you can get champagne, you can get mimosas. It opens up at 7 a.m. This is located in our Central Park. We have Deserted, where you can get adult milkshakes as well as kids milkshakes. The adult milkshakes, you can choose any drink you want, and we can have it mixed within the milkshake. And then we have dedicated Lemon Post Bar, which is in our kids neighborhood, both for kids and adults. Some of the other bars in nightlife, these are a lot of returning favorites that we have on a lot of our other ships. We have our Music Hall, our Point and Feather pubs, the Atticus, which is our comedy club, Trellis Bar, Boleros, which is our Latin bar, Playmaker Sports Bar and Grill, Sports Bar and Arcade. We have over 85 televisions in there. It's a great place if you want to catch a sporting event. And then we have one of our popular Spotlight Karaoke. I'm not a singer myself, but I do go there to enjoy watching. Some of the new dining venues on board, we have Empire Supper Club, which is a really unique experience. It is an 8-course meal where your meal is paired up with your cocktail, and your cocktails are also paired up with the live music. This really takes you back in almost to like the 50s venue. It's called Empire Supper Club on the Icon, which is based on a New York theme. And then it's called the Lincoln Supper Club on the Star of the Seas, which is based off of Chicago. Celebration table is a great option, whether you want to have the whole venue yourself with the family, or if you want to join other people on the ship. It does seat up to 14 different people, and it's a great option. And there's 3 distinct menus you can choose from. A lot of people who pick the celebration table option are usually a large group wanting to dine together. Azumi is one of our sushi restaurants. We have a new option called Azumi in the Park, which is a takeout window right in Central Park, where you can go up and get takeout sushi, or you can get a bubble ice cream cone, which is shown in the picture here. And then Pier 7, which is in our Surfside neighborhood, which is really catered towards adults and kids, has a lot of great options. The kids under 12 does eat free. These are all specialty restaurants here. In our main theater, we do have the Wizard of Oz, like I mentioned before. It is a fantastic show. And there's also a 16-piece live orchestra. And that orchestra also does their own show called Show Band, which I did see recently. It is a fantastic show. Wizard of Oz was always one of my favorite shows, and it's amazing, the technology and the lighting and whatnot on the Icon. And then we also have our Aqua Action. So with that Aqua Theater, with that 5-story shape-shifting waterfall, we have live action, whether you're looking at our professional divers or synchronized swimmers or just our stuntmen. This is a fantastic show, and it is found in our Aqua Theater. On the Star of the Sea, it's actually called Torque. So I mentioned Star of the Sea is our next Icon ship. It is sailing out of Port Canaveral. Like they started about 3 weeks ago doing Eastern and Western Caribbean. So there's 3 different Eastern itineraries and 2 different Western itineraries, and they always make a stop at Perfect Day, CocoCay. It's a fantastic ship and lots to see and do. And like I mentioned before, we have Back to the Future, the musical, which is also fantastic, and that's the Broadway show that's on board Star. Now, Legend of the Seas, like I mentioned, this is going to be the 3rd Icon class ship. It is now floating. We just actually moved it from our dry dock last week. So it is now going to be going through its finishing touches between now and next summer. It will be doing the interport from Barcelona and Rome, summer of 2026, and then making its way in November over to Fort Lauderdale, doing the Eastern and Western 6- and 8-night Caribbean sailings. Sorry, this is another video that's not going to play for me, so I do apologize. Then we also have the world's biggest weekend, Utopia of the Sea. So I did mention during deployment, we have the 3- and 4-night options. Utopia is a fantastic ship. It's our newest Oasis class ship. And we're really, catering to the world's biggest weekend. Lots to do. We have some new options in here. So I'm just going to cover what's new on the Utopia compared to our other Oasis class ships. We have the brand new Perfect Storm water slides. We have a lot of returning favorites like our mini golf, our rock climbing wall, our flow rider, our zip line. So many activities. We have bigger ways to dine. We have a brand new dining experience called the Royal Railway, which is a really unique specialty restaurant. We have 2 train cars that are kind of like a simulator. So you'll go into the train car. It's more like a dinner theater. So you'll go in the train car. All the windows are basically like LCD screens, and it makes it feel like you're actually moving on a train. And then we'll have a show as well. So we'll have a bandit come on board the train, and they'll have a little argument with the conductor and things like that. It's a lot of fun. It's an amazing experience. And the theme that we have on this one is called the Wild Wild West. This does book up pretty quick. We only have about 48 seats in total. So on each train car, there's 24 seats. So if you are going to book it, I would highly recommend booking it as soon as possible. Bigger ways to party, we have a brand new bar option, which is called the Pesky Parrot. If you're familiar with our Oasis class ships, we do have a bionic bar. So this is kind of replacing that bionic bar, and it's a great option, more like a tiki bar, and it's right off that Royal Promenade. Utopia of the Seas will be doing those 3 and 4 nights. So the 3 nights will be Port Canaveral, Nassau, Perfect Day, or Private Island, and back to Port Canaveral. The 4 night is the exact same itinerary, but just adding a full day at sea. So if you are, looking to do the 4 night, it's Monday to Friday. Great option. You get to have that full sea day where you can spend on board the actual ship and exploring it. So you can see there we got a flow rider, we got mini golf, we have the play skate for the younger kids, the aquadome, the dry slides. There's plenty of options on board or any of our Oasis class ships. Our ships are all fully accessible as well. So we have anything from mobility disabilities, hearing disabilities, visual disabilities, or other needs. We really can cater to everyone. So if you have some special diets or any allergies and whatnot, we will always make sure we can have some options for you. We have a full medical service on board our ships as well, with a full doctor and nurses on staff at all times. We also allow service dogs on board. So we really can cater to everyone. And that's also on our Alaska cruise tours. We have our train that we use. The Wilderness Express train is fully accessible as well, with wheelchair lifts as well. So all of our products are fully accessible. And we do have certain rooms that are fully accessible as well. So if you want an accessibility stateroom with accessibility showers or whatnot, we do have those available. Now with Royal Caribbean, we also have a Royal Caribbean app, which is a fantastic app to use. It's very simple, very intuitive. If you do not purchase the internet on board our ship, you can still connect to the internet and use the app. It is a great option whether you want to do your mobile check-in, you can do your safety briefing, which is very simple. You'll watch a short 30-second video. You will then listen to the safety horn. And then once you're on board the ship, all you have to do is go to your muster station and just scan your pass and you are done. It takes no more than 2 minutes. All our cruise planner is all within the app as well, telling you about all the onboard activities that are going on throughout that day and evening. All your dining reservations or any reservations, whether it's a shore excursion, dining reservations, or like a theater reservation, those are all found within the calendar. You also get a perfect day map, and then you also get guest-to-guest chat. So if you do not purchase the internet, but you still want to stay in communication with other guests on board the ship or even your own family, the guest-to-guest chat is complimentary, and it is all within the app itself. My Royal Cruise Planner, this gives you the option to go in either on the website or through the app to purchase anything from excursions to drink packages to Boom Internet. You can basically do it all through My Cruise Planner. The nice thing is if you do purchase, let's say, a drink package and then it does go on sale, let's say Black Friday or Labor Day weekend, you can always cancel and rebuy it at the cheaper price. So it's always best to kind of lock in that price right now. And then if it does go on sale later on, you can take advantage of all of the sales that we do have. And your travel partner can help you with this as well. They can make these bookings on your behalf. Now, a quick look ahead. I did cover some of this already. So we have the Star of the Sea, which is already open for sale. And it's already sailing right now. We have the Legend of the Sea coming out next year, which is the 3rd Icon class ship. We have another Icon class ship, which is the 4th Icon class ship. It just had its keel laying yesterday in the dry dock, so it's starting to be built right now. And then in 2028, we will have the 7th Oasis class ship. They have yet to be named. But we have some new destinations as well. We have our new Royal Beach Club, and we have Perfect Day Mexico, which I will cover here shortly. So with our ultimate destinations, we are expanding it. So currently we have Perfect Day CocoCay in the Bahamas, which is our #1 ranked port of call. We also have Labadee, which is off the coast of Haiti. That location actually is closed right now to the end of April. There's some unrest going on in Haiti, so we decided to close it down. But we do have some new options that are coming down the pipeline over the next year or two. First one being, so Perfect Day is currently built, but we currently are a private island destination, but we also have the Hideaway Beach, which is our brand new adult only section. So you can see on the right-hand side of this image here, that was our #1 request, was to have a adult only section on the island. So that's the Hideaway Beach. But looking at this island, all of our beaches are complimentary. Our Oasis Lagoon pool, our Harbor Beach, all of our food venues are complimentary. And if you do purchase a drink package or Boom Internet on board the ship, it also will work on the island for the day. So you don't have to worry about buying a separate package or whatnot. Now, there are 3 different paid options here. If you want to go to the Thrill Water Park, that is an additional cost. Coco Beach Club, which is more like an elevated VIP experience where you can get like filet mignon and lobster for dinner or for lunch. And then Hideaway Beach is also another add-on cost. And we do have cabanas throughout the island that you can rent. We have zip lines, we have the up and away balloon. But I can say I go here quite often and I rarely will pay for anything just because there's so many options here that are all complimentary. And the island is fully accessible. We have trams that will take you right from the ship where it docks all the way around to the backside of the island. We have trams that will take you over to Hideaway Beach, so it is fully accessible. And we also have wheelchairs as well as strollers with the large beach tires. So if you need to get someone over sand, and obviously a wheelchair or a scooter cannot go over the sand, you can transfer them over to one of our complimentary wheelchairs with the oversized tires, so they can go and take advantage of the beach that they want to attend. Daredevil's Tower, which is the tallest water slide in the Caribbean. It is very tall. It is very fast. It's one of those things where I've done it a couple times. It's pretty scary, but it's a lot of fun. We have 13 water slides. We also have some raft slides as well. Some of those raft slides are part of our Splash Summit. We have mat racer slides. We have family raft slides, the slingshot, the twister, splash speedway, and then we have tailspin. These are all within the actual Thrill Water Park. Now, if you have younger kids, we do have a splash pad as well as as 5 mini water slides, which are complimentary that are outside of Thrill Water Park. So for the younger kids, you don't have to feel obligated to purchase the Thrill Water Park package. There is an option for them that are complimentary. Here's a great picture of our wave pool, and you can see there's plenty of chairs and umbrellas around the whole island. You won't have any issue. Like just look around the Oasis Lagoon pool, there's plenty of seating and umbrellas throughout all of our beaches and all of our pools. So if you don't rent a cabana, there are plenty of options to stay out of the sun and the shade. This pool is pretty big. It actually has a gradual walk-in for the younger kids. It also has a swim-up bar and beautiful loungers. And if you can see all the little red umbrellas, those are all of our lifeguards. We have more lifeguards on board our ships and islands than any other cruise line out there. Here's a great shot of that Hideaway Beach, which is that adults only section. So you get a beautiful private beach area, plenty of chairs. We also have cabanas. We also have the hideout cabanas, which are right in the bottom of the image here with a beautiful infinity pool in front of it. That's private to those cabanas. But then we have the large infinity pool with a live DJ and swim-up bar. It is a great option if you're looking to just spend the day without any children. It is a great option. Now, the next Perfect Day will be opening up in 2027. It's called Perfect Day in Mexico. It's going to be Perfect Day, I guess, on the next level. So this is a lot bigger. We have over 200 acres at the port of Costa Maya. We've actually acquired that whole port. We have a 170-foot tower. These water slides will be the tallest water slides in both North and South America. There's going to be over 31 water slides. Majority of them, I think about 70% of those water slides will be raft slides. So that's our number one request, is to have more raft slides so more family can go down the slides together. That's another video. I do apologize. It's not working for me tonight. But we do have, they say, the tallest water slides in the Americas. You can see here that Sombrero Tower in behind. And we have 3 launch slides as well, where you can launch yourself in the air into the pool. Here's a great shot of that Sombrero Tower with some of the raft slides. Absolutely amazing. I cannot wait to try this out in 2027. Here's the complimentary splash pad that's going to be on the Perfect Day in Mexico. So you can see here there's 5 water slides, splash pad. You can see a lazy river going around. That lazy river is actually a mile long. The nice thing about that lazy river is that it is complimentary. It is going to be outside of the water park, so it will be a complimentary option. It'll take you about an hour to get around it, and there's going to be 3 different swim-up bars along the way. So if you want to pull off the lazy river in your little tube, you can link yourself up to the swim-up bar, grab a few cocktails, and then you can go down the river as well. Every little raft will have its own cup holder, so you can enjoy the full day on the water. On the left-hand side here, you'll see a big pool. That's our Oasis Lagoon pool. It's about 4 times the size of the Oasis Lagoon pool that we have at Perfect Day at CocoCay. Costa Beach Club was one of our elevated experience. So the Coco Beach Club on Perfect Day. This is the Costa Beach Club, which will be on Perfect Day Mexico. Beautiful infinity pool. This is not adults only, but I will say the majority of guests that actually go to the Costa Beach Club are adults, because it does cost a little bit more. But it's beautiful beaches, beautiful swim-up bar, that elevated lunch experience. But like I say, it's not fully adults only, but most times it usually is. But if you do want the adults only section, we have El Hideaway, which is a beautiful, beautiful pool, lagoon, live DJ, swim-up bars, beautiful beach, sandy beaches, as well as a lot of different cabana options if you're willing to, rent a cabana throughout the day. We will also have 2 miles of beaches that will go right from where the dock is all the way down to our beach club at the end of the land there. Now, we also have a brand new experience, which is new to Royal Caribbean. So we have a perfect day in CocoCay. We have a perfect day in Mexico. We have a new Royal Beach Club. Now, the first Royal Beach Club is going to be opening up this December. So I think it's the last week of December of this year on Paradise Island in Nassau. So if you're not familiar where that is, where all the ships dock in Nassau, there's a long peninsula with a lighthouse at the end. Royal Caribbean Group has acquired 17 acres of land, and we're developing this beautiful beach club paradise. Now, with this beach club, it is not like Perfect Day. This is going to be kind of treated more like an excursion. So it will not be complimentary because it's just not large enough to host all of our guests on board our ships. Sometimes we can have 2 or 3 ships in Port of Nassau on a given day. But this is going to be kind of like an all-inclusiveness. So basically, when you purchase your ticket to the Royal Beach Club, everything's going to be included. You're going to have your drink package included. You're going to have all your lockers, your pools, your food, your water taxis that will be going back and forth. So you can see here, there's water taxis that are going back and forth. They don't go from the actual ship. They'll go around the ship, and on the other side, there's actually a dock that you'll dock at, and it'll take you back and forth throughout the day. That's all going to be complimentary. Plenty of food options. But if you're not a heavy drinker, we also have a couple different packages, and I will cover that here shortly. Here's Paradise Grill, which is one of our dining venues. We'll have multiple dining venues throughout the beach club, as well as one of our snack shacks. This will be the largest swim-up bar in the world. It's a floating flamingo. And on the second floor of that, we have 2 sections where there's a live DJ in the middle, and you can actually rent the second floor here, up to 18 people on each side. So if you really want to have your own little party or family party, you can rent that little private deck area. It's kind of like a oversized cabana. Beautiful beaches. Well, 2 beaches here. It's kind of divided up into 3 sections. We have our chill section, our family section, and our party section. So it really caters to all 3 groups on our ships. But we have 2 beautiful beaches that will be in the family section as well as the chill section. As you can see here, there's plenty of cabanas, plenty of seating. We didn't put all the umbrellas in here just because we want to show more of the beach, but there'll be plenty of umbrellas throughout the beach area as well. When it comes to passes, it's going to be broken up into 3 different options. The first option will be a day pass, which was unlimited open bar, which would be all your alcohol drinks, and then the day pass for non-alcohol drinks. If you're not a big drinker, you can purchase the non-alcohol drinks, and the packages will differ in price, but everything else will remain the same. So you get all day dining, all your beach day activities, amenities. You'll have your internet will also be included, your transportation back and forth. The big difference is one will include alcohol and one will not. It will be a little bit cheaper if you're not getting the alcohol, but you can still purchase an alcohol drink if you like. So you want to go get a margarita or like that, you could purchase that separately if you wanted to. We'll also have some different bundles. So if you are going on one of our sailings and you purchase the deluxe drink package on the ship, you can bundle it with the beach club access or the refreshment package. Or if you're stopping at Perfect Day as well, you can bundle Thrill Water Park as well as the beach club together. And then we have plenty of cabana options, whether you have the ultimate family cabana, which is up to 12 guests. We have day beds. When you do rent a cabana, it obviously includes your access to the beach club as well. I apologize, that's another video that's not working for me. And then next year, we are opening up our second beach club, which will be exactly the same type of concept where you will have the all-inclusiveness. This is going to be in Cozumel. It's going to be about 10 minutes from where our ship's dock, and we'll have complimentary buses going back and forth throughout the day. But this is going to be more of a private beach club. We'll have a beautiful, I think it's about 1.5 miles worth of beaches. We'll have 2 pools here. We'll have the main pool with the live DJ and swim-up bars. Then we'll have a little bit of a smaller pool, which is just on the north side here. But you can see here, there's a lot of beach access and then plenty of cabana options as well. And here's the second pool, which is right next to our food venues, which will also obviously be included. Also in 2027, we're opening up another exclusive, it's not a beach club, it's not a perfect day. It's kind of like similar to what we have for Labadee. It's a paradise area off the coast of Australia and New Zealand, so in the Vanuatu Islands. This is a great option if you are taking one of our sailings out of Australia or New Zealand. It's another great beach paradise. This will be less commercialized. There won't be any water parks or any large pools or anything like that. Will basically just be a beautiful beach day paradise. We'll also have a swim-up bar, a rival bar, and a floating bar as well. So plenty of options. And this will be opening up sometime either late 2026 or early 2027. Royal Caribbean, what we do with some of our ships, we do go through an amplification process. So we have 3 ships that we're going to be going through being amplified next summer. We have the Ovation of the Sea. It will be being amplified just before it starts its Alaska season. We're adding brand new venues such as Azumi, Teppanyaki, Giovanni's Italian Kitchen, Starbucks, Pesky Parrot, Ultimate Family Suite, Panoramic Suites, and all the ones listed with the star are going to be brand new to the Ovation. Everything else is just being refreshed, like the refreshed pool deck. This is a very unique class of ship as well. It has the iFly indoor skydiving as well as the North Star, which is that little glass pod that takes you about 350 feet above the water and above the ship. It's an amazing way to experience, especially looking at a glacier in Alaska. Next ship we're actually going to be upgrading will be the Harmony of the Seas. It will be sailing out of Port Canaveral in summer of 2026. We're adding lime coconut, a local fresh, samba grill, Brazilian steakhouse, pesky parrot. So a lot of different options, but we're doing a full reamplification. And we do this quite often with a lot of our ships. About every 10 years, we'll go through that amplification process. And the last one, which will be the Liberty of the Seas. Liberty's right will be the summer we'll be sailing out of Southampton. It's currently doing the Canada and New England cruises right now. This is one that I actually do a lot of ship tours on when I go to Halifax and St. John, New Brunswick, and Charlottetown. But it's a great option, and we'll be going through its full reamplification. There's 2 other ships in this class, the Freedom as well as the Independence, and both those ships have already been completed. This will be the last one of that class, and we're adding a local fresh, new lime and coconuts, escape room, and we're going through a full pool deck experience and refresh as well. Now, our September promotions right now, we have September 4th until October 2nd. We have 60% off the second guests for all sailings departing on or after September 5th, plus kids sail free on select sailings. So a lot of our sailings are kids sail free. There's going to be some blackout dates such as Christmas and Thanksgiving and New Year and March break and whatnot. But it's a great option. And sometimes we do have these promotions, not on right now, but we do have promotions where the kids sail free can be any age. You can, because right now it's up to 12 years old. But it's sometimes we do have these sales where it can be any age, that 3rd and 4th slide here. And that's basically all I have for tonight. But we do have one sale option as well. That's going to be an additional sale just for Lois and team. It's going to be up to $100 onboard credits, so $25 for an interior, $50 for a balcony, and $100 for a suite. That is applicable to any booking that's an FIT, so any triples, quads, doubles, for any sailings moving forward, as long as it's outside of final payment. So anything that's outside of 90 days from now, we'll include that extra onboard credit. And that is a $25, $50, or $100 USD that you can use pre-cruise or you can use it on board our ship. So once again, thank you very much for allowing me to kind of give you a quick update on Royal Caribbean. As you can see, we have a lot coming down the pipeline and lots of things talk about: new ships, new beach clubs, new perfect day. But I will open it up to Q&A. If anybody has a question, they can type it in the Q&A box found on the right-hand side, and hopefully be able to answer some of those questions tonight.
Thanks very much, Nate. That was a great overview. And I don't think there'll be anybody watching this video that will not want to go on a Royal Caribbean ship after you've done that wonderful presentation for everybody.
I know it's a lot to cover, so I do apologize. There's a lot of information overload, but see if there are any questions coming in at all.
I don't see any questions there just yet.
Not yet.
So the activities available on board is absolutely amazing. I don't know how a family would do it all in a 7-day cruise with everything that there is possible.
And sometimes you can't. I just got off the Icon of the Seas with my family back in July, and one thing, it's nice that you don't get bored because there's plenty to do. Some cruise lines, or you can be on day 3, you could be bored and you've already done all the activities. But when I was on the Icon, I didn't play mini golf. I didn't go on the flow rider because there's just so many activities on board the ship to take part in. And then obviously the days are in port as well. But there's just so many activities for all ages. And one thing I'll say, we have a lot of activities that are tailored towards younger audiences. I find a lot more adults are doing these activities than some of the kids, especially like the flow riders, the zip lines, the abyss slides. You see more adults than kids, especially, and also laser tag is also one. You see a lot of adults playing.
And I'll also comment, in this presentation, it looks like you've really amplified the accessibility options that you offer, from on board the ship to on the excursions. That's great to see.
Yeah, and we also have some custom excursions as well, and we do have certain excursions that are fully accessible. There will be some excursions that will not be fully accessible as well. So if, let's say, for example, you're in Santorini, there's obviously some things you have to, it's not as easy to do, but we do have some accessibility options on certain excursions.
But just making such a focus on that, obviously it opens up to a whole new audience that people can take advantage of if they have those kinds of concerns to deal with.
Absolutely. And one thing on our ships as well, the flow is very easy. You know, they are large ships, but one thing is that these distinct neighborhoods really disperse the people throughout the ship, and it does make it easier to get around, especially if you are in a wheelchair or, you know, you need a scooter or assistance or whatnot. We also team up with a company for special needs where you can rent a um, wheelchair in advance, and they'll meet you right at the port of call,
I'm
and you can
familiar,
have
yeah.
their wheelchair on board the ship throughout the week, and then they'll drop it off and they'll meet you at the end of your cruise as well. And it is pretty affordable. I believe it was $90 for the week the last time I rented it for my own family.
Yeah, that's a great option. There is one question there now asking about options for solo travelers.
Yeah, so we do have options for solo travelers. We have 29 ships currently. Six of our ships, including some of our quantum class ships, some of our classic ships, we do have six that have solo staterooms. So they are smaller rooms designed strictly for solos. All of our other ships that do not have solo staterooms basically would be in a double occupancy stateroom. So unfortunately, would be paying double occupancy. But we do also have the odd sailing here and there that we do offer. Either you're paying, instead of paying 200%, you're paying 1.25 or 1.5%, depending on the sailing and whatnot. So you can reach out to your travel partner and they can actually look up which sailings those are available. But like I mentioned, we have six ships that are usually either one in Europe, one in the Caribbean, one on the West Coast that are all catered to our solo travelers.
Good. There was a question that I took from a client recently asking about the areas at Perfect Day that you pay for, if they're more adult oriented. I guess the Hideaway Beach, you kind of answered that you wouldn't be able to bring kids with you there in the adult only area, but the rest of the places,
Correct.
if you wanted to pay, you could bring children. Is that correct?
Yeah, so there's three main areas that are additional costs. One would be Thrill Water Park, which is obviously caters to both adults and kids. You know, there's some larger water slides that the adults may like more than some of the younger kids. Oh, that is additional cost. Is catered to everybody. Hideaway Beach is only for adults. It's an adult only, so it's 18 plus. And then we have the Cocoa Beach Club, which is open for both adults and kids. Like I mentioned, it is a little bit of a higher cost entry fee, so we don't see as many kids in there as we typically would see at other venues. But like I say, I was there one day with my family, and my son was the only child there.
Okay.
So it's kind of nice, but we do have other options. And then we have the zip line, which is both catered towards young adults as well as kids, as well. And we also have the Up and Away Balloon, which is both for adults and kids. So plenty of options.
Mm-hmm. And there's another question about the onboard credit that people would qualify for if they book after tonight. And the question is in regard to cruises already booked, but that would not apply, would be my understanding. And is that correct?
Correct. So if you already have a cruise booked, you may or may not have onboard credit attached to it. But you know, with the sale that we're doing right now with Lois, it's going to be for any new sailings outside of final payment. So anything that's 3 months out. If you do have onboard credit on your booking, it usually gets added about 45 days after the sale, and that can be purchased through the pre-cruise planner. So if you do go into the pre-cruise planner and you want to book an excursion or a drink package or anything like that, that credit amount, so let's just say, for example, it's $50 onboard credit, that credit will be applied to whatever you purchase, either pre-cruise, or you can wait till you're on board the ship and you could use it for or towards our room internet, towards a drink package, towards a specialty dining, or maybe you want to go into Sugar Beach and, you know, buy some candy, or you can go to our shops and purchase, you know, t-shirts or whatever. It can be used on board or pre-cruise planner purchases, and it will be added right to your account. So as soon as you log in, you'll see that you have that credit within your account.
And just to clarify, this applies to cruises booked with any member of the team at travel time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of us. all of the clients would qualify for that.
I see another question here. Are reservations required for the theater shows? So I will say this is kind of a two-part question. We do prefer if you would make reservations just so you do secure a spot in one of our theaters or aqua theater or ice skating shows, but it is not required. We do allow a lot of people to walk in. What we've noticed, and I'll give you an example for myself, I never pre-book shows because a lot of people will pre-book their shows for the whole week and their week schedule changes a lot. So for example, maybe they book on day 3, they're going to Perfect Day CocoCay. Well, they've got a lot of sun that day and they're tired out. They're not going to be able to make the show at 7 p.m. and they might try to go to the later show. So you have a lot of people who may book shows and then not show up. But I've never had a problem just waiting. You know, they open the doors 15 minutes prior to the show for anybody just to walk in. And the only one I will say is probably the hardest is our comedy club, our adults comedy club, because it is a smaller venue and it does seem to be very popular, but we usually do 2 to 3 shows every night in our comedy club. So there's lots of options, but I wouldn't say it's required, but it's always good to make reservations just so you can secure a seat.
And that's easy to do in the app. The app is absolutely wonderful. I'm
Yeah.
actually sailing on the Symphony, leaving this coming weekend, and so I've been kind of playing around with the app, and the functionality of it is great. You can see lots of things about your upcoming cruise.
And there's a ton of activities on board the ship. You know, whether you're just going to, there's meetups, there's solo meetups, there's games and bingo and game shows on like Love and Marriage. There's lots of options that are throughout the whole day. So, and it's for all ages as well.
Right. There's a question there, but which cruise ship goes to Australia? So somebody's interested in the Australia itinerary you mentioned.
So we usually have a Quantum class ship. I'm trying to remember the top of my head which ships are in Australia for next season.
The travel advisor can look at that.
Yeah, I can't remember the top of my head right now which
information.
ships are in Australia. I do apologize, but usually it's a Radiance class and a Quantum class ships.
Mhm.
Another question here, are casinos on board? So yes, we do have casinos throughout all of our ships. They have smoking and non-smoking inside the casino. But on our Oasis class ship, we have been and some of our actual Freedom class ships, we've actually been adding a smoke-free casino, which is completely separate from our main casino. We did try to make all of our casinos smoke-free at one point. It just didn't work out very well. So now we're trying to come up with a different solution and have a dedicated smoke-free casino. So for example, the Freedom of the Sea just went through a upgrade about 2 or 3 months ago and now has a smoke-free casino. All of our Oasis class ships now have a smoke-free casino as well. It's not as large as the smoking casino, but it does have all the main games, table games, as well as slot machines.
Good, thank you. I don't see any other questions unless there's something else you can see there, Nate.
That's all I see right now. Actually, let me just double check here. Oh, wait, no, I do see a couple more. Oh, no, sorry, it's the same questions we already asked. So solo options as well as the Australia ships.
Well, that was a great lot of information. I think it would be very helpful for anybody trying to determine the type of vacation that they want to take their family on, because there is literally something for everyone, as you said. So thank you very much for bringing that information to us. And the team at Travel Time will reach out to any clients who are interested in this webinar to refresh, listen again if you want to, answer the questions that you have, or look up the itinerary that would be best suitable for you to book and take advantage of the extra onboard credit that we'd be happy to provide. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, everyone, and have yourself a wonderful night.
Take care.